17-year-old honor student, a seemingly normal family, and a horrifying plot to murder his parents and assassinate the President of the United States. What turned Nikita Kasap into a cold-blooded killer? Nikita Kasap, 17, was an outstanding student at Waukesha West High School, but beneath that perfect image hid a lost and isolated soul. Born in Moldova, he struggled to assimilate into American life. Ever felt like you didn't belong anywhere? For Kasap, that feeling of detachment would prove fatal, a dangerous emotional void looking for meaning, identity, and power. He confided this to a classmate, not just teenage angst, but a sign of a deep identity crisis. Kasap's phone contained propaganda from the neo-Nazi terrorist group Order of Nine Angles. He authored a 3-page anti-Semitic manifesto praising Adolf Hitler and calling for the assassination of President Trump to save the white race. Through TikTok and Telegram, he contacted a mysterious Russian individual and asked, "How long do I need to hide before going to Ukraine? 1 or 2 months?" He sent disturbing images on Snapchat and boasted about his plan to shoot his parents, though he called it a joke. On February 11th, 2025, Kasap stepped into the darkness. Using his stepfather's Smith & Wesson .357 Magnum, he shot his mother, Tatiana Kasap, 3 times, twice in the abdomen, once in the neck. Then he executed his stepfather, Donald Mayer, with a single bullet to the back of the head. This was no heat-of-the-moment act. Kasap deliberately shot Mayer from behind to eliminate the primary threat. His behavior reflected a calculating, remorseless mind, traits often associated with psychopathy. There was no remorse, no hesitation, only execution. Following the murders, Kasap looted the house. He broke into the safe, covered the bodies with blankets to delay discovery, and, shockingly, submitted an online school assignment the very next day. For 12 days, Kasap coexisted with the decomposing bodies of his parents, showing no discomfort with the overwhelming stench. He filmed Donald Mayer's corpse, lit candles in the room, and casually remarked, "You can see him there. I can literally see the body rotting." Where most would recoil in horror, Kasap boasted. He may have shared the footage with his Russian contact over Telegram. Psychologists call this narcissism, a twisted hunger for admiration. Kasap believed he was untouchable. Between February 13th and 25th, he impersonated Mayer in texts to employers and family, claiming illness to buy time. Kasap raided the home, stealing $14,000, some hidden in a Bible, 70 pieces of jewelry, and credit cards. He also contacted someone to install fake license plates on Mayer's car. And he wasn't done. He prepared a drone and explosives for his planned assassination. Joni E. Johnston warned, "This kind of blind overconfidence often leads teens to underestimate law enforcement." To Kasap, this wasn't just about killing. It was about becoming someone, a player in history, a name in infamy. But was Kasap's plan truly airtight? On February 23rd, Kasap fled, driving Mayer's vehicle across 6 states: Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, Colorado, and Kansas. 822 miles of misguided confidence. He brought the murder weapon, $14,000 in cash, jewelry, electronics, and his dog, Toby. But his plans started to crumble. On February 28th, he was pulled over in Wakamis, Kansas, for running a stop sign. Police discovered the drone and explosives, confirming his continued intent to carry out a terrorist act. Reality finally caught up. In his extradition hearing on March 4th, Kasap remained silent, agreeing to return to Wisconsin without resistance. Psychological studies reveal that teen criminals often crack under pressure, shifting from arrogance to submission. But did Kasap truly abandon his ideology, or did he simply change tactics? From March to April 2025, Kasap remained in Waukesha County Jail with a $1 million bail. During hearings on March 4th and April 9th, he made no statements. His court-appointed attorney, Nicole Ostrowski, spoke for him. The same teen who once boasted and filmed corpses was now silent and passive. Yet his manifesto and prior chats suggest he still believed in his mission, casting himself as a revolutionary or a victim of the system, as described in radicalization studies. His lawyer contested theft charges and may eventually pursue an insanity defense. But so far, No clinical evidence of mental illness has emerged, and legal experts say such a defense may be difficult to prove. Kassab's psychological shift, from narcissistic pride to complete withdrawal, reflects a collapsed worldview. The ideology that once drove him now seemed distant, even irrelevant. Was he preparing for a new legal strategy, or had the fantasy finally broken? Nikita Kassab was a paradox, a top student who meticulously planned a double homicide. He arranged every step: murder, escape, finances, identity deception. He contacted extremists, acquired a drone, and stockpiled explosives. He wasn't acting on impulse. He was methodical, obsessed with every detail. His emotional detachment was chilling, living with decaying bodies, filming and commenting on their decomposition like it was a sick form of entertainment. This reflects both narcissism and psychopathy, a complete lack of guilt. Kassab's motives were dangerously intertwined. First, there was financial greed. He targeted his parents' wealth, $14,000 in cash, jewelry, and credit cards, to fund both his escape and his planned assassination plot. Prosecutors called this a bid for independence. In his mind, the gun was more than a weapon. It was his ticket to freedom. Second, his extremist ideology. Kassab subscribed to neo-Nazi beliefs and crafted a manifesto to justify his acts. Killing became a way to fulfill what he believed was a greater mission. In his distorted view, he wasn't a murderer. He was a soldier in a holy war to save the white race. Finally, there was the craving for control. As Johnston explains, many teenage parricides stem from a desire to break free. For Kassab, killing his parents wasn't just rebellion. It was the erasure of boundaries, the removal of all supervision so he could fully commit to his radical path. His transformation wasn't a snap. It was a slow descent, shaped by online radicalization, psychological instability, and unchecked ambition. A dangerous cocktail of delusion and cruelty. It was a slow descent, shaped by online radicalization, psychological instability, and unchecked ambition. A dangerous cocktail of delusion and cruelty. But the question remains, where were the warning signs? His parents had no abuse history. Neighbors saw a normal family, yet Kassab had already made contact with extremists. Was something missed? Was this avoidable? Nikita Kassab stands as a terrifying reminder of how a teenager can spiral into extremism. From identity crisis to premeditated murder, his story shows how dangerous a mix of radical ideology, greed, and control can be. A cocktail that destroyed his family and his own future. So how do we stop future cases like Kassab's? Parents, teachers, friends, we must pay attention to the signs: social withdrawal, extremist beliefs, violent language. Social media platforms can serve as gateways into darkness. Ignoring these signs isn't just neglect, it can be fatal. What do you think? How can we shield young people from radicalization? Let us know in the comments. If you found this story important, like and subscribe for more real crime breakdowns. We'll be back with more. Don't miss it.